may the best man win. But this sport is something that you can't play with. Boxing is something that you can't play with.
With skill, none of these guys can mess with me. Like, nobody. I feel like my skills is way better than like Floyd.
Can knock them off the list. And the thing is, he can do what the others have done, who were actually smaller like Floyd, who was actually smaller like Manny Pacquiao, but the skill can make up the difference. But the big difference with Tank is he knocked out a heavyweight in Spawn.
Floyd Mayweather breaks down Manny Pacquiao versus Gervonta Davis, warning Pacquiao not to underestimate Tank's power. Despite any grudges, Floyd acknowledges Davis's strength and believes Tank's explosive skills could seriously hurt Manny in the E.
When is Gervonta Davis going to go somewhere in the pound for pound? Anui deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. Do Terrence Crawford deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. But what about Gervonta Davis? He deserved to be somewhere also in the pound for pound.
Why don't they give him that credit?
Because he was affiliated with me.
Ring, he sees Tank as a dangerous opponent, and Pacquiao must approach carefully. Manny Pacquiao's career is one of the most remarkable in boxing history, marked by his ascent through an extraordinary range of weight divisions starting as a young fighter in the 108 lb category. Pacquiao showcased a rare combination of speed, power, and skill that allowed him to overcome opponents far larger than himself. His ability to not just compete but dominate across several weight classes demonstrates.
YouTube, we're back again with some more boxing news in the boxing world, and oh my god, this is some great news. Warning for Gervonta Davis after saying he will return to fight him. In an interview earlier today, they were talking to Manny Pacquiao, and Pacquiao says he only wants to come back with 2 fights. Floyd Mayweather the rematch, or he wants the title of Gervonta Davis. He's calling out Gervonta Davis. YouTube, what do y'all think about this? Manny Pacquiao, Gervonta Davis, showdown. How would this go? Who do you think would win? And would it be great for boxing? I think it would. Pacquiao, Gervonta Davis will be a smasher, will be a banger. Might break some records because Manny Pacquiao's fame and Gervonta Davis's fame. This would be a good match. I hope this happens. YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe.
His adaptability and resilience. Floyd Mayweather, an astute observer of boxing talent, openly admires Pacquiao's capacity to evolve and conquer challenges that many fighters would find insurmountable. This journey highlights Pacquiao's tenacity and dedication, proving he is more than just a boxer. He is a phenomenon who has left an indelible mark on the sport. Gervonta Davis has rapidly risen in the boxing world by emulating the paths tread by legends like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. While his style and approach differ, his raw punching power sets him apart as a formidable force. Davis carries an intensity that often overwhelms opponents, and his knockout ratio speaks volumes about his effectiveness in the ring.
Out of available options for meaningful fights that look realistic in the here and now, right? He tried to fight Lomachenko. Loma said he didn't want to fight, so that fell out the window in 2024. Maybe can be revisited. Rayo just lost to Gary Antoine Russell. I was looking at Rayo as a possible Tank foe. We do know that Team Tank reached out to Team Rayo at a point. So fast forward to the future. Shakur is doing deals with Turkey and Eddie Hearn. Seems like an obstacle. Tank says Eddie Hearn's a snake in a suit, and he doesn't seem to jive well with Turkey. Like he's like, this picture looks like a cult. It looked weird. And he's taking shots at the whole movement. You know what I mean? The whole Saudi stuff. So for me, I think this is great for Tank Davis because now you can rob the bank twice, run it back. Fans feel a type of way, which we'll talk about more. And you get to, like I said, rob the bank twice, run it back, get the clarity that boxing fans want, and then you can worry about the next move. Now, this is funny. I tell you guys all the time, there's a lot of low quality content in the world of boxing, right?
If Tank harnesses and showcases his full potential, strategically, his impact could surpass expectations. The power he wields isn't merely physical, it's psychological altering. The dynamics of any fight, Manny Pacquiao's return to the ring, is not driven by casual interest, but by a clear mission. He has expressed a firm desire to engage in 2 significant bouts, post-retirement a rematch against Floyd Mayweather, and a showdown with Gervonta Davis.
One time I interviewed your sister, and she told me when you were kids, she would do the best in sparring. She would get the best of you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, usually.
When did that change, Mario? When did that change?
He wasn't the only guy she got the best of in San Antonio. She got the best out of everybody, man. Shit. No, yeah, my sister's a beast, man. Like, she couldn't spar other females a lot of times.
Unfair.
Yeah.
Mismatch.
She was, like, overwhelming, man. She was just naturally, strong. And, so, yeah, most of the time, the sparring partners, they were dudes. But, I mean, I couldn't really even, like spar with her serious. I mean, until I was, like, 17 or 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
at that point, I was already too big for it, so I was like...
So let me ask you this. Normally, you get a call, they say you want to fight it. So when you hear Tank, it's excitement, it's pay-per-view, it's a big deal. This is not just any other fight. When did you get the call, and how did you feel when they told you, okay, the fight's on?
I was super surprised to hear, Tank's name. I was talking to my manager, Luis Cubas, and he was like, well, what do you think about Davis? I was like, Davis? So, trying to think Davis, any Davis is at 140. And I was like, wait, and I was like, you mean Gervonta? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh man, I was like, I'm with it. I was like, but I ain't going down to 135.
This reveals Pacquiao's strategic mindset, focusing only on meaningful fights that can add to his legacy rather than just routine matches. His readiness to face such high-caliber opponents reflects both his confidence and his understanding of his place in boxing history. These anticipated clashes are not just about competition. They are about reclaiming glory and settling unfinished business. Gervonta Davis exhibits remarkable confidence in his abilities.
Right now, we're looking at Manny Pacquiao potentially facing Mario Barrios. What do you think of that fight?
Yeah, I think that, it's a very contentious subject. Like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's 2 questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. And that's why we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up. And people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots, but he still hasn't had those wins yet.
Boldly asserting his superiority over current fighters in the division, his declaration underscores his belief not just in his physical strength, but also in his technical skills and ring intelligence. Such self-assurance can intimidate opponents and fuel Davis's competitive fire. While confidence is essential for success, it also invites scrutiny. As fans and critics eagerly await to see whether his words match his performance, there has long been speculation about Manny Pacquiao's desire to face Gervonta Davis.
Oh my God. Barrios versus Manny. This is some bullshit. If this is real, I'm not sure if it's real. Barrios fighting Manny Pacquiao. This is some bullshit right here. Manny Pacquiao he hasn't been a pro in a minute, and they're coming back to fight someone for a belt. Barrios technically should win, but this isn't fair. Like, we could have had Brian Norman Jr. versus Barrios, but we're getting Manny Pacquiao versus Barrios. I don't think anyone wants to see that. Manny Pacquiao is past his prime. He's not in his fighting years no more. And then can't he make 147? And then you're letting him fight for the belt. To me, that doesn't make any type of sense. And then if he beats Barrios, let's say hypothetically he beats him, is he gonna unify? Cause Boots, that's sitting in the lamb to the slaughter. Brian Norman, that's sitting in the lamb to the slaughter. Like, this doesn't make no sense. These young fighters, like, they can really hurt Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao couldn't even handle Ugas. Like, just think about how this is all playing out. It doesn't make sense. This fight shouldn't be made. Like, there's other fighters that Barrios can fight. Like, he could try to fight Boots because I think unification is Trump mandatories. Or there's, I would have to look into the weight division for. Oh, there's like he could fight Rohan. There's other fighters you can fight besides Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, I like watching him fight, but I don't think he deserves this type of fight. And he hasn't been fighting actively. Let me know what you guys think about this fight possibly being made. I'm praying this fight doesn't get made.
A fight that fans and analysts have anticipated for years. However, Davis appears reluctant to engage in this matchup, sparking rumors that he might be protecting his unbeaten reputation and legacy. Avoiding a battle with a legend like Pacquiao could be seen as strategic caution or hesitation. Gervonta Davis's career has faced criticism over the perception that he chooses opponents who present little challenge, a tactic often labeled as cherry-picking. This criticism intensified following his controversial fight against Lamont Roach Jr., where the narrow victory and disputed.
Justin, how exciting is it to have the legend, the icon, the only 8th division champion in boxing at your gym here in Fortune Gym in Los Angeles? He's working hard. He ran an hour. He did a whole.
Been with him for 22 years.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying he's a machine. He ran an hour. He did strength and conditioning with you, which is not easy.
He ran an hour. He didn't realize that this gets a bit harder. You know, as we increase the rounds, and this he's got to pull back on the runs a little bit. Yeah, he knows.
He did strength and conditioning with you. He went all out. He worked hard, and now he's doing 1,600 sit-ups.
Yeah, well,
he's a machine.
Yeah.
What kind of machine is he?
Huh?
What kind of machine?
Crazy machine. He will, but as we increase this, we'll pull the running back shorter, faster. But you know, he knows. So now he knows what the training's about. We increase the train, we increase the stations, change it up all the time, so it's continually shocking his system, and we get the good results.
It was a great workout this morning. He worked hard, as he always does. And the whole team's here. You feel the energy, the vibe.
Yeah,
good energy.
More people than I thought, but you know.
This is light.
This guy here, I got trained with this guy.
This is light.
Been trying like weeks now. He's won't, and he keeps bugging me out his fucking jacket. Give me a jumper. Give me a jumper. Come on, mate.
Yesterday at the gym, he was throwing flurries, 10, 12, 15 punches in a combo. That's looking incredible.
Listen, I know he admits and bags don't punch back, but he looks the same as he did.
I've been saying that. I've been saying that. He hasn't missed a beat.
No, he hasn't missed a beat.
He went like this.
You know, never.
He ran? He didn't run, but he didn't run. Would I leave? He turned around and.
So, would I leave the boss by himself?
Decision sparked backlash. The demand for a rematch reflects a broader call for Davis to prove himself against tougher competition. Without the cloud of controversy, close call against Lamont Roach Jr. introduced doubts about Gervonta Davis's invincibility, leading many to question whether he has declined or lost his edge. Such perceptions naturally influence how upcoming fights, including a potential bout with Manny Pacquiao, are viewed, making outcomes seem unpredictable. Manny Pacquiao's initial step in his comeback journey involves facing Mario Barrios, a younger contender hungry to make a name for himself. Barrios approaches this fight with determination, aware that facing a legend carries both immense pressure and opportunity. Pacquiao's plan is methodical: first conquer Mario Barrios and then pursue a fight with Gervonta Davis. ideally after Davis has completed his rematch obligations. This sequential approach allows Pacquiao to regain momentum and test his physical condition before stepping into a high-risk encounter with a younger, powerful adversary.